and gentlemen, you know what? We are back. We are back. We had such a good time with Jonathan Slocum at 1 o'clock today. And thank you all so much for joining us for Jonathan's episode. If you were able to tune in, so many people were sharing in watch parties. And giving that love to Jonathan, and the interview itself, it was spiritual, it was enlightening, it was so many positive things that special, that episode was so special and meant so much. Thank you again, Jonathan. As you know, always before every episode, I love to and have to give it up to our first responders during this time.
Yeah.
Our responders in the medical field, our responders in the truck driving industry, our teachers that are still teaching right now some are in certain smaller groups, you know, and some are teaching online. A lot of them are still teaching online for our young people, continuing that education for them and giving their sense of positivity. You know, in Victor Brooks Show, we're all about the positivity as much as we can keep that going, because we always got something to smile about. Our police officers, our ambulance drivers, our store workers, the people when we go through those days when we want to go out and shop, the people who are cashiers. That's special. Thank y'all. Thank y'all so much. I want to give my condolences to the families that have lost family members and close friends because of this time and because of this virus. And all of those who may be dealing with that sickness right now, right this moment, I want to send out a shout of prayer and condolences and positivity for you as well. It's going to be all right, y'all. It's going to be all right. And as long as we continue this mission to pull together to find something to smile about, you dig, to kind of continue that positivity posse that we started this campaign. I want to directly give it up to my brother Ken Scott out of New Orleans, police officer down there that's holding it down. And thank you, Ken, for what you're doing. I want to give it up to Harvey Palmer and Donovan Fordham, nurses who are right here doing their thing as nurses on the front line. I want to give it up to Kevin Hicks and my nephew, Greg Sinner, who are truck driving during this time. Thank you for bringing it into what we need at this time, the food and the hardware, whatever it is. I want to give it up to our doctors, Mr. Leon Sear, Dr. Sear. Thank you, my brother. Thank you, Wayne and Eric Moore, for what you're doing. Just a few of the people that we're giving it up to on the front lines. And today, as many of you know, it's always a special time when I can sit down with my family. And this beautiful lady you see on this other screen is my baby sister, Julie McKnight. And Julie, thank you so much for joining.
Thank you for having me.
You know, and if those of us who are following us on YouTube, please go to YouTube, the Victor Brooks Show YouTube channel, subscribe, and put your thumbs up there when you see it, because we're going to keep bringing you all these incredible stories. And Julie did her part 1 on the Victor Brooks Show YouTube channel. And, Julie, that I can tell you, the reception we got from your fans around the world was and still is incredible. And it was
thank you.
Yeah, your honesty and your openness came out, and that's what you've been known for through your industry and what you do.
I can't help it.
It's got to be heavy not being able to tour right now, isn't it, sis?
Heavy isn't even the word. I mean, it's you make friends after all this time of going on the road and doing the festivals and touring. So all of us look forward to it like a big reunion. And I mean, right now we would be in the swing of festival season, you know, and it is just completely shut us down. You know, we don't mind, because we know we're keeping everyone safe and keeping that group, but I'd be lying if I said I don't miss all my fellow singer families and the DJs, and I don't even say fans, they're family, and I miss them, and it is difficult. Now, forget about the fact you're not working, but that's a whole nother.
That's right. Yeah.
That's where we go to do what we do, is
That's
the
right.
road. And we honestly, truthfully, we aren't sure what things have been postponed. Thankfully, none canceled, but I mean, we don't know what's going on, but we're ready to get there.
I know you are. Any specific shout outs, Julie, to any fans or companies or promoters or anybody right now that you want to send that love to?
Ooh, there's so many.
I know.
There's so many. I gotta start with my Defected Records family.
Yeah.
All of you guys, because they really do bring us all together. But I'm sure I'll forget some folk, but Funky Love and 51st State, and it's just so many huge things that we do. But not to mention my smaller groups of, I really enjoy doing a lot of personal performances for people, weddings and birthday parties and receptions where I love being the surprise.
Gotcha.
And I had so many of those, but I mean, I would just give love to, even my chosen few brothers. I know in Chicago, they're wondering what are we going to do with this coming up, our house family there in Charlotte and Maryland. And I mean, just it's love, so much love for all of them.
Right on, Julie.
So we'll see y'all.
In the emails that I've been getting and all of that, they just giving it right back to you. Everyone that I've gotten from our base of the show is giving it right back, sis. But it makes me wonder, because when we were on earlier with Jonathan, he was mentioning the same thing. That what do you find during this time that with your creativity and your artistry, is there a difference, or is there something that is implemented right now with all of this going on that connects with your artistic journey?
Yeah. Well, you know what? I would have to say that it's the fact that, like most creatives and artists do, we use what we have, but we really do pull from other people and we pull from their experiences. And it's one thing that I found difficult is you can really only write so many "I miss you because we're all in here alone" type of things.
Yeah.
You want to do the uplifting, and that is what we're all trying to work for right now. But I do miss the being out and about and connecting with people and hearing their stories, and whether it's pain, whether it's pleasure, whether it's loneliness, because you pull all of that in, whether it's at a restaurant or a concert or having a drink at happy hour, whatever or shows that we do.
Right.
So thankfully I'm surrounded by little creative angels all day, because I'm back to teaching my preschool babies.
Right on.
So you get that from them, where they just keep you light and everything's great, and so. But on the level of where it being what we do, I've always journaled, but now it's more internal works as opposed to let me try to see what might go here, go there. And I'm sure, like most folk, everybody's inside and going inside. Yes,
that's right.
And I think that's healthy. I think it's healthy. It has been for me.
Yes, hey, I can't agree more. I wish there was more than 100%, 1,000. Because, even Sister Shaka Khan did a song about it. It's been an understanding that through the fiery times in our life, a cleansing. So I guess that's kind of what you're saying there. It's a cleansing.
It really is. Yes, it really, really is. But it's a good thing.
It's a good thing.
Yeah.
It's positive.
It's positive.
And I know you with wanting to be not just the shows to be able to fly to. I know you love visiting with your sons and your grandbabies.
Oh, yes, that's hard.
I got you. Yeah.
That's hard because the trip was, this tour had been planned effort, that's what God will show you. Oh, you thought so. Where I was flying into, leaving London and heading to see the grandbabies and spend a week with them for their birthdays and all. And it was, at the time, it was like, oh, how am I going to juggle this? But I know I want to make sure I see the babies. Now my first thought is, if I were just able to get on the plane and go straight to the grandbabies,
go ahead, or
straight to my sons, or and their beautiful girlfriends, to you, to Cheryl, to as opposed to, oh well, I'll just hop over. I'll be the first to say, you do start to take things not for granted. Mm-hmm. But that's many of our lives. We here and there, we're home on the weekends or maybe not. And then we started to, a lot of us that I've been talking to, we realized, no, that really is not real. That is not real life. That's just what we happen to be doing.
Heavy.
And the things that we wish we had put off, and let's finish these, and these are big days. I got to do those. I got to do this. And then when it turns into you can do nothing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Then you think, what are the top 5 things I would do like right now? And I love every one of my everything.
Yeah.
But my list really did start with a certain group of people.
Okay.
And then expand it out. So, I mean, it showed you, all right, this is really the circle. I got the world.
Yeah, yeah.
But this is the circle.
Right, right.
That's been cool for me too.
Come on now, Julie, that is powerful, because whether we're looking at the news, and I try my best not to saturate my day with the news.
I can't.
But we see it on social media, and then talking with other people through this tragedy that every single one of us are living through right now. There is that component that's hitting us to the core.
Yes,
of what is really real. What should we worry about anymore? That word worry. What is it really that deep? Should we looking at what should we cleanse out of our life and welcome into our life? Like you just said, it makes that real.
Yep.
To us,
Yep, it's the truth.
It's the truth. We had, I know out here, there's some states that are going through the battle of closing down and some staying open.
Yeah.
So there's a daily battle, but that's why this format, sis, is me. I always try to find that positive.
Absolutely.
And I know you have the same thing.
Yeah.
And because for me, I know what negativity does to me. I know where it draws me to. And I know what I've lived through, not to go there. You did?
Yes.
But it's like positivity, the positiveness is, and I know you are a trooper at this too. It's so much more of a powerful ingredient in our life.
Yes.
And through your music, I know that when we see the videos of you performing for your fans and the love that's in that room, the whole genre of house, dance, soulful house music, which is just one of your natural musical genres that I know, but what gave me even more respect for the house, dance community and genre was that feeling of positivity and love.
That's what it's all about.
Break that down. Why is that the main component that sets that apart?
Well, I think what I have pulled from it, because I'm one of the babies in the scene. We've got sisters and brothers that have been in it for 30, 40 years. And the common denominator with all of it, all things house, is the fact that it's for everyone. It starts with love and moves on to, spirituality. And after that, you move into acceptance of everyone, no matter your race, no matter your gender, no matter what you would like your gender to be, no matter age. It's inclusive of everyone.
Yes.
And if you've ever and forget, what more do you need than love, spirituality, and dance?
There you go. That's right. That's right. That's powerful.
It just joins you. Yeah. Oh man, you can walk. People ask me a lot, well, a lot of times I'll travel alone. Well, you're not scared to go? You travel? No, this is family. And you feel safe. It's just your group it's like you found your cave of people.
Check.
And, I said, oh, this is it, man.
Yeah.
You just feel good with house music. It's just anybody who knows, they know. Yeah. But because it incorporates everything.
It incorporates.
All world, all everything, just everything. You get it and forget about the beat.
Oh, see that? Now that's it. Right. It has its
you can't help but move. You can't help but dance. It just makes you, it's cleansing. The lyric is always here. Yeah, there's no, I'm worldly, left me, I can't make it without it. Please come back, and I'm the boss, and I don't need nobody. No, you need your family. You need everything. I just love it. It just feels good.
Yeah. That's
just it.
It feels good.
It feels good.
And you know what, sis? That gave me a flashback of the times I was able to accompany you on your live shows. I remember when you did your Japanese tour. It was that's when I started getting my first real. I always have respected the genre of house dance music, especially through our cousin Jay Sinister, J.C. Alley.
Yeah, of Kings of Tomorrow.
Not only being a pioneer of this genre, but also through what he, initially used to come by the house and play. And that's when I first got into that groove. And I was, man, this is out of sight. So when I was able to accompany you, and the places that Japan, just one of them, and over and others in London, the community, like you just said, in the live shows were, how can I say, electrifying. The positivity was electric. You felt it everywhere, from head to toe. The even off stage, it was the love, and I know that's got to be heavy right now for you and your community, because it's all about the hugs.
It's all about the love, and that's just the truth. It just is. The house community, we are a tribe of people, and we do feed from each other's energy. And I'm sure a lot of genres may feel that, because I dig all of them. You put me in a metal house, I'm there. Put me in a rock, jazz, but it's something about house where historically you're learning lessons. It's music that spans generations. I've got grandmoms bringing their kids. I've got mothers and their children coming to party. I've been listening to this since my mom, I was little. It's passed on. And it's just, but we are very,
yes,
that's us.
That's it. That's what I loved about it, man.
That's us.
And just to take our people back for a second, you grew up. If you saw Julie's part one, you remember how Julie was explaining, and we talked about her growing up into a musical family. So your generation of music, of different styles, different genres, of course, with Uncle Charlie, with the traditional spirituals and the beauty of the hymns and the classicals, introducing us to Mendelssohn and the work of Brahms and things like that. And then his own artistry through his singing and his music. That was a blessing to both of us to be able to add into our bucket as you have done.
Yeah.
Of course, we did an episode with Mom about her life with growing up under Aunt Elna with the gospel
So
side,
good. Yeah.
gospel, and then our grandfather Norris Turney through the jazz realm of it all. And then also our Rice family side in Dayton, Ohio, through the funk. You did.
Yes.
Shout out to our Rice family in Dayton, and that gave a holistic approach to where you come from and what's new. You know, do you find all of that contributing to the Julie McKnight that the world loves right now?
Oh, without a doubt, because I had absolutely nothing to do with the Julie McKnight that the world knows right now.
All right, right on.
Yeah, it is because of all of those people, all of those experiences, and and having parents who allowed me to just venture out into everything and any type of music. And just allowing me to appreciate it all or not really dig it. You know what I mean? It just so happened that, in our household, it was everything. So I do feel contributed to being able to accept everything, anybody, and you're not judgmental of, I know I'm only a house head, or I'm only a rocker, or I'm only a beatnik or a jet. No, we were everything, and we are everything.
Yes.
So home is what you see.
There you go. That's right. And not only just the styles, Ju, I would say you were able to. You pretty much, our family knew, or the bulk of it was always the care of young people, of children through or it's also been in the music and entertainment industry as well.
Exactly.
And with that, Ju, with the growing up in that realm as we did, I know we talked about it before. A lot of our association was second or third of being our education of what this industry is made up of, not just the house dance, entertainment in itself. Some people say house, other people say entertainment. But at a young age, yes, I counted a blessing to be able to say that we were blessed in our lifetime to be associated with what people consider and we consider as icons and legends. And with that, Julie, there was a period of your life where you became an actual it didn't change just from the second and third party. A lot of people call it Hollywood housewife. Other people call it that entertainment life, which you well knew from almost to birth, that what this entertainment is all about. With your marriage at that time, as we know with Brian, what educations that we grew up and didn't know firsthand, what lessons were learned, or what was that journey for you, Julie?
Well, I mean, one of the main lessons that I'm glad I learned prior is that it is not real. Absolutely none of it. From A to Z in that life, it's just not real. I can remember before all of the Housewives shows were out, I can remember in their conception when they were reaching out for wives this goes back a long time, to join and to be on. I was asked to do them. As soon as I would do my interview, they were like, no, can't use her.
Really?
Because
never knew that. I never knew that.
I don't know. I think I was not gonna, and this is no disrespect for the sisters who did it, because I think that they really did shine a light on how things actually can progress. But I'm glad that most of the time, the reason why I wasn't able to do it is because I just was not that interesting for them, And
Gotcha.
for me, hey, that's cool.
Mm-hmm.
I'm cooking my own meals. I'm doing my own dinners. He and I, at the time, they still wanted to shoot, even though we lived in totally different homes. They wanted me to come over and appear to be there at the house and all of this. And I said, no, I'm not doing it.
Mm-hmm.
It's not that big a thing for me to pretend that all of this is an okay thing in this household. Now, if y'all would like to come and be real, I got you with that.
Yeah.
But if you just merely come in to watch me homeschool my sons and do my own grocery shopping and prefer to shop for my own clothes instead of having a shopper, do my own make, I wasn't that one. And I think that growing up and having seen it and realizing the other side of it, that I will be the first to say I probably may have been receptive to darker situations.
Gotcha.
Because I knew how I was affected by them. Hollywood, it can find that
Yes, it can.
piece. It can find that little piece that it knows, I got her. Right. Here's all the good things that I know she's attempting to do and present, and she'll use this platform to help raise awareness. But as long as it's got that little dab, it's like it's just going to grow. It's going to feed on the darker sides if you are that one. So I'm glad I learned the lessons before to be aware of what Hollywood and the music industry actually are. So that was a blessing for me.
Right on.
Like I said, no, I'm not dogging any of. A lot of friends of mine did them, and I praised them, and I loved the way they showed this is us and our life. But for me, I think I just wouldn't have been able to grin and bear some stuff.
I got what I mean? Because if everybody has their personal journey, everybody has their personal way and because of those journeys, no matter who it is, I mean, even outside of Hollywood, come on, if they're going to keep it real, we all got to keep it real, that I don't care what you do, if you're living and breathing in this lifetime, you have your personal journey that you're affected by. And
absolutely.
The way that you express that, or the way that you are open to that or closed to that, hey, like we've been raised, another prop to mom and dad, we can't judge anybody.
No.
Anybody. There's a lot of things that we won't allow.
Exactly.
But when it comes to everybody's personal journey, we were taught you can't judge people on their journey. And interesting, Julie, and thank you so much for your input on this, and being also during that time being a single mother, not only female in this industry of during time, but then you mentioned going and homeschooling and cooking for the kids. What was that added journey of single motherhood after the fact?
That was fabulous.
Right on.
That was, because it so much opened up. Yeah. I had merely been, the wife, and career was put on hold. Everybody had to appear a certain way and be a certain way. And, Julie's raised in Memphis, Tennessee. And then moved to LA at 16. So, here's this loud barbecue cooking, green, eating cornbread, making country girl in LA. And I just doing all the stuff, it just didn't match for me. But once I was able to remove myself, that's when the music started. That's when, getting back in the studio started. That's when my sons were lighter because their mom was. Yeah. And it wasn't always easy. I mean, my sons and I definitely played at the time they thought it was whoever finds the most quarters in the couch won, but they didn't realize the quarters was going to buy some Domino's pizza.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
I got
you. Because we were, all right, this got paid, made some arrangements on this. Now we're able to do this. Let's play the quarter game.
Yeah.
And listen, we're here. I'm here. They're 30 and 27 with my oldest and the grandbaby. So life, it built a different level of strength for myself and them. Gotcha. You know, we had to buck up. I mean, I went back to school. I did all the stuff. I enjoyed my little apartment, and life just seemed to inch off.
Gotcha.
So I'd be like I said, it was, the homeschooling was great, and that helped because my boys were known in the Valley, so it made it difficult for them, even when we moved out of LA, to kind of maintain in school. They weren't in the era where it was social media. It's not a big deal for people to see celebrity now. Yeah. But then it really was. You didn't just, unless you lived in LA, be able to pick your phone up and watch what whoever's doing with their lives all day. So when you saw them out, it was a big deal. Oh, that's so-and-so's son, and girl, that's his ex-wife. It was that part I was glad to be able to tuck into a shell and not have to do. And it helped all three of us, myself, BJ, and Nico, just, do what we wanted to do and be who we were. So it was healthy for me.
Right on, sis. Sis, I mean, whoever's listening on the flip of this can say, oh, yeah, that's Brother Sandler, but I don't care. I respect you and your artistry and your journey so much.
Thank you.
So much. And I know that there are millions of other people as well that respect the same thing about you. And I think that the common word or adjective or whatever, excuse me, English professors or whatever, the word to describe Julie and her journey and your honesty of being real about your journey, it boils down to strength. All of us at times, I know in my life, as you very well know, life and my decisions has taken me down, boom, but I'd never thought, no, I'm going to just stay on these knees, period.
Yes, yeah.
But I'm going to stay on these knees because that's what my life and decisions has knocked me to. But there's a sense of person that comes out that once we clear out all the clutter and get that sense of ourselves, which your story right now is definitely given, where did your strength to pull up come from?
No, that's nothing but God.
Gotcha.
That's all it is, in whatever way you want to put it or call him, her, or what. That's it. I start there, and then I have to say, and God was from what I was raised in, and thankfully for that as well. And having that own relationship with him outside of any doctrine or religion or any of that.
Gotcha.
And then once I did move over to that single mom, as you want to call it, thing, my sons became that. You got two little birds looking up at you. You got to do what you got to do.
Come on.
And they were not ever gonna see me just downtrodden. It wasn't gonna happen. Didn't mean, that I had 700 homemade candles holders out of Alizé bottles. They didn't know.
Right on, sis. I got you. Yeah.
But you even shift out of that as well. You realize this isn't what's keeping me strong. This isn't what's getting me up in the morning. This isn't.
Come on now.
And here, then I don't need that. That's when the music came back, and then that did it. Wow, people want to hear that?
Yes.
Doing a demo. And then you kind of think, oh, a whole new world. But that's where it keeps, you keep getting strong from everything. Then the stage made me strong. Thank God to Wayne Vaughn and and my sister Wanda, because they pushed me out there.
Gotcha.
And to fear taking that stick and making me get to the front of the stage. That was another level of strength. Mm-hmm. Now I'm able to say, I was just as nervous at the baked potato as I am when I go on in front of 10,000 people.
Gotcha.
But I had to learn that strength there.
Mm-hmm.
And so hopefully I'm still learning areas that I'm going to get strong in.
Yeah.
I can't wait.
Come on now, girl. Right on, sis. Right on. Because you know what? And I want to have that almost as the perfect segue into the topic of the female artist right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Especially in your industry. You know, we know the legends of your CeCe Peniston and Martha Wash and
yeah.
And with that, now that you have, your career has ushered into that same room with a lot of your fans that I hear come across the waves and come across, what is it, first of all, how does it feel to be associated with those legends' names of Martha Wash and CeCe and all the rest, Julie?
Well, I feel like I stole someone's backstage pass and I snuck on stage.
Right on.
Man, you look around and you're like, that is not. Sure, that's just not who that is. I mean, and they wonder, they're like, why is she peeking over at me? And if I'm on, I'm like, I will open for anyone. Put me, and then I got the camera out and I'm able to see. And then when you are there, you know that they're just like you and just like me. But then you get there and you realize Crystal Waters is having a glass of water next to me. You never lose any of that. You just don't, you just don't lose it. It still blows my mind.
Right
I still don't, I feel like I go do my little part.
Yeah.
And then I'm graciously saying, thank y'all. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Yes.
I'm happy to be there, though.
And I know we are, and your fans are too. That Julie McKnight's your music, your artistry, is evident of everything that you were just so open about. Your strength, your positivity, your upbringing, all of that, Julie, is and I know that, continuing on with the female and that strength that you found and still have, has it helped in the journey as being a female, all of these incredibly talented women you just named? What's happening in the industry right now? Is there a respect? Is there an equal thing? Is there a double standard going on? Because this is in the wind out here. And
I'll tell you what, it is definitely still a guy's game. It just, and you have to, in my area, because I'd love all of my sister DJs that are coming up, amazing female DJ. Oh, Sam Divine, that's my baby girl. But there's so many that are kind of inching that line up. So we're getting a bit of equality in that scene, because it was a predominantly male-driven groove, because that was mostly where the DJs were. And then you sprinkle a few singers in every now and then. So I think, and most of us were the females that would come, and there's amazing male house singers as well. But I think that line came from there just being predominantly more male DJs, and they are the stars.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
So when we come, we're here and we're there. Even though back in the day, your singer was the one that, you know, brought the song out, you did all that. That's one of the reasons why I love the way the festivals are rolling again.
Right.
They are incorporating all of us again, whether you're a DJ, whether you're a singer, new artists, up and coming singers, up and coming DJs, because I think that's the only way we're going to get that. But, you know, sisters struggle.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah. Gotcha.
And one of the beautiful things I love about my house sisters is we stay close. And I'm sure people may hear, oh, I don't know if they ever work together. No, we really do support each other and stay connected. You know, I thank God for my sisters. And I named these two just because they bring me, I go to them with a lot of, okay, I'm needing you to straighten my crown for me right now on a spiritual guidance level. So I got to give some love to my sister Barbara Tucker and my sister Janice Robinson and Dawn Coleman. I mean, they'll send me little things now and then. Just felt this is something you needed, or if I need some advice in this industry, we really do have a tribe of women, and we're connected. And that's helpful, because it does get rough being a female artist in any level of the industry.
Gotcha. Oh man, I mean, you know what? And you hear in that whole, I'm going to say, disrespect for the female artist. That, you know, is it all the way to the details of the equality of the performance fee? Is it all the way to the same thing?
Oh, absolutely.
Do they open? Right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, and yes. But I will say that it's gotten to the point where many have realized, no, just not going to be able to make it.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean?
You mean from the female artist perspective?
Yes, yes. We're just, you know, because because it's such a small crew, you kind of know, wait a minute. Now, sis, you've been in this game this long, and you've been in this game this long, and how is this working? I think we all just got to the point where we realized things have to elevate. And even aside from monetary, we enjoy what we do. You know, we want to do these festivals. We all want to be seen together. You know, we have folks that come out and they say, oh, I would love to see, you know, this artist with this artist, or a show of this artist and this artist. Yeah, that's why I was excited about one of our shows this year. I was finally going to be with Carolyn Griffey of Shalimar.
Oh, yeah.
And that was going to be bananas. That's going to happen.
Right.
That's going to happen.
Right.
So, I mean, I think what we've started to do is start to set our goal at, this is what we are going to do. Okay. And that's it. And only takes a few people to know what you're going to deal with or not.
There you go. That's right.
And then you're okay. So I see it changing.
Well, you know what? As our parents also were some revolutionary minded people, and our grandparents, and that's still in us. So I'm pretty sure I'm not the only show that is calling for this, but I want to personally call, and all of my Positivity Posse followers to call. I want that revolution of equality for our people. And a lot of people throw the word diva around, but I'm going to say our female artists, our female musicians, our female within this industry that have shown, when you give the names of Sister Tucker and Peniston and Waters, and I mean, these sisters were doing their thing and still are.
Oh,
doing
and
that.
still
You
are.
know,
And I mean,
let's treat them
they
the same way.
are.
That's right. That's right. You know what, sis? I know that, like we mentioned before, the house dance, soulful house styling is just one of your loves of musical expression.
Yeah.
You know, what are you working on now? I call it the coffee table project, but what are you? What I love this idea of a project. Tell me what that is.
Well, this a lot of folks don't know. I started really young doing poetry and writing, and it just evolved thanks to my brother, who y'all are watching too, because he let me know, no, those are lyrics. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I mean? That's what you're doing. But writing is one of those things I can't help but do it, whether it's journaling or whatever. So we've got songs that are, what would you say, Vic? Maybe some are 15,
Oh,
20 years
yeah.
old almost,
They've been in the vault. That's right.
that are in the vault, but they show a progression of experiences in my life from that point.
Gotcha.
So right now we're finishing up and you're right, it is a coffee table book that will also include, now I'm old school, so you're going to get a CD. You'll be able to download too, but with the book, you will get that. And each song has its story to, you know, how this song came about and what I was going through at that time. So it's a real personal look, quick read. And I like to call it coffee table because it's not like a novel or an autobiography. No, it is simply what this song meant to me at that moment in my life. And you'll kind of get a feel once you hear the music. So
Right
I
on.
am excited about that.
And I'm so excited because, like you sasaid, I've heard the music is just, it crosses. You got some jazz, soul,
Yeah.
bossa nova. I remember there was even, if I'm not, this little country tinge type stuff.
Yes. Thanks to my brother, Jason Adamo.
Jason Adamo. Thank you, Jason, you know.
Yeah.
And I just have to give you getting love. I don't know if you can see the lines there, but so many people are showing love for your strength, for your honesty, for your devotion to your craft. And I'm looking at this list, and we got a shout out to our family, Kevin and Keith Hicks, you know.
Hey, family.
You know, Kevin is definitely, he's one of those truck drivers that are keeping the things moving.
Hug on Joyce.
Hug on Joyce. And Keith, oh man, Keith Buttons, the Dallas community knows this brother. You see the beard. And those who have enjoyed the food artistry, the culinary.
Yep.
Keith out of there, Dallas. Much respect, Keith. Much respect, brother. And so many others that are joining here. Mike McNeil out of D.C. The Brazil crowd. Rodney Cartwright here. Thank you so much, Rodney, for joining in.
Yes. Saudade, Brazil.
That's right. You know, our brother Johnny Willis is here.
Yes.
But Julie, thank you again for this part too, sis. Thank you.
Oh, I thank you. These are the best.
Yes, they are. You know, we're all able to connect. You know, we're sitting at home and dose of positivity on us. And I got to give up to our quarantine quarantine series co-producer, Miss Wendy Vaughn. Wendy, you are a jewel. You are the consummate professional. You're detailed.
That's our baby.
That's our baby, you know. And we thank you, Wendy, for joining us. Ladies and gentlemen, don't forget, every Saturday and Sunday next week, we got a lineup for you. We got a lineup for you next week. So watch your feeds of who's going to come in here. Saturdays at 1 and 3, Sundays at 1 and 3. And this is Facebook Live Quarantine Series.
Yeah.
Come join us, y'all. Keep getting some of this positivity on you and spread it all over you and give it to your family and the friends. And when you see somebody feeling down like we all have during this time, pop this on and come on and laugh with us. Even though we may shed a tear, it's not a negative tear. It's a tear.
No.
You dig?
That's right.
Once again, love and respect, my sister. Love you.
I love you.
And Come on back, y'all. Right on. We'll see you next time.